more. But moving on to the performance side of things, the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chipset inside of it, an octa-core CPU, an Adreno 540 GPU, and 6 gigs of RAM on every single model that this phone came out in. Now, I think, the day-to-day task of this phone, as I typically say, that's kind of like the one thing that I always mention about these phones. I think you're going to have an okay experience with this phone nowadays. I feel like the whole entire UI, specifically the software, really does bog down of a lot of what this phone could have been. I think going day-to-day tasks, such as, opening up apps and downloading apps and, taking phone calls, going to Snapchat, TikTok, all this stuff, I think you're going to be okay. I don't think you're going to have a horrible experience with that, but I think when it comes down to the whole entire smoothness factor, expecting the app to open up super fast or expect it to close out, super smoothly, or, to maneuver from one app to the other and not have apps crash in the background, I feel like you're going to have some problems when it comes down to there. Even though this phone has a pretty decent amount of RAM for a 2017 phone, it definitely isn't aided by the software. I think the software, as stated before, it does affect more so than anything else, and I feel like that's kind of the more sadder aspects of it. I was expecting it to have kind of better, performance, and I kind of said it last year too, towards the end of the year, especially once the Note 20s came out and I was comparing it to those devices. The more and more phones that are coming out now, they are definitely faster, but I'm seeing more improvements in the smoothness factor, and we're seeing this based off the fact with the 120 Hz displays and all that stuff. Android is really trying to, Samsung and all these other manufacturers are really trying to make their devices smoother, and the Note 8 is a fast phone, I think, still for sure, but it's definitely not smooth, and I don't think anybody would consider this like the smoothest phone of that year, and it's definitely not a smooth phone anymore, but it's still certainly, I think, a fast phone. Even though it's a little choppy here and there, I still think it's fast for the most part. So in terms of the overall performance aspect, that's pretty much how I would cover it up at this point. Now,